Oh, phew.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Terrence. How are you, sir?
Doing well, doing well. My computer was having some difficulties this morning, so it took me a few extra minutes to get on.
It's all right. Yeah, I know. Seems like they have trouble waking up sometimes, just like us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, hey, good morning, and thanks for taking some time to chat today. I appreciate you. Appreciate you doing so.
Yes. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. We are. My name's Ben. Work here at Banyan, and just wanted to reach out and set a little time to chat, and generally just with the Zoom call, just share a little bit about the company and the position, the superintendent traveling super position, and then I'll just ask you to share about yourself, what you're currently doing, what your past experience, and what all you've done, and what you're kind of looking for moving forward. And so feel free to ask any questions you have along the way. Interrupt me. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. So anyhow, Banyan Construction, we are a small to mid-sized commercial construction company. We are located, our office is located out of just west of Indianapolis, a town called Brownsburg. And so we've got close to, actually we got right about 50 employees currently. And so we have got at our office, we have a team that does a lot of the pre-construction and site surveys and getting permitting and plans and all of that, as scopes and getting site mobilization ready for the superintendents. We've kind of grown the company, working for one specific with one specific franchise, become the general or the preferred GC for a high-end salon called Sola Salons, and we've been building them throughout the U.S., 27 states, over the past several years. That's what we've done exclusively. Like in 2019, we built 39, and then 2020 we built 40, and then this year we're looking to build 45. That's what we've been doing up to this point. But we've this year we've really started expanding into other divisions. We've added a construction management division where we are overseeing the construction. Our first client, they've got about 100 sites they're wanting to build. It's a different service industry, not in the salons aspect. And so we're overseeing the build of their sites, and then we've also have opened up more project management resources for other franchise owners of different companies, looking to do some fast food chains and some ground up stuff. And so we've this year definitely expanded out to doing beyond and kind of prepared for the future to kind of diversify a little bit in those other avenues. And so the team has been growing, and so we looking to bring on some superintendents to kind of help currently with the solas, and then there's in the future, as we add these other clients and do different things, there'll be some opportunities there as well too. So it looks like you've got experience in a variety of ways as a superintendent, with different project types, and so came across that and saw that. I was just curious kind of what all you've done and what all you've are what you're looking to do, kind of where you're at with that. We've our superintendents, it's a traveling position, so be traveling throughout the U.S. For good portions of time. We've got our goal for the solas are 90 days build out. Obviously with the current labor shortage in some aspects, that can give or take, but That's kind of our goal. All the solos this far have been primarily tenant improvements, tenant build outs. And so, your shopping centers, strip malls, malls sort of things. So yeah, we've got the site superintendent's kind of the site superintendent slash project manager in the sense of we set this, the site up as far as getting things going, getting the plans ready. We set up some of the major subs, MEPs, set up in advance, getting the bids and estimates from them, scope signed, and then hand off to the superintendent, and superintendent that gets a lot of the bids, a lot of the subs, locally, different contractors for the drywall, other aspects of the trades. We've got some guys that subcontractors we've built good relationships with that they've got crews that'll travel to some of the places we do. And then we definitely are very much about building relationships with new subcontractors and vendors in different parts of the country. And so kind of growing in that aspect. So yeah, that's a brief rundown. If you got any questions on that so far, feel free to ask. And then Terrence, if you just share about, kind of where you got your start from, what you've done, what all kinds of projects you've done, stuff that you've overseen, and kind of where you're at currently, what you're looking for, and any other information you think would be kind of valuable to bring to the conversation.
All right. Well, I worked in a variety of construction. So I worked with highway, civil construction, bridge construction, and also retail construction.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked 5 years in retail construction, and that's building like churches, schools,
Mm-hmm.
quick serve restaurants. Also did some office buildings as well, like medical office buildings.
Yeah.
Did those as well. So I've been exposed to a lot of different types of construction.
Yeah.
Did a lot of traveling. Most of the time it was, 85 to 90% travel.
Right.
I know all about that. I've also been in charge of at least 50 subordinates, subcontractors.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a superintendent for at least 12 years experience.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I know a lot about like Procore. I don't know if you guys use Procore or Primavera as a type of software they use for construction field.
Yeah.
I have experience with that also. I know how to handle budgets as well, large budgets, anywhere from 1 million up to 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I know how to evaluate subordinates, and training as well. I do a lot of training with my subordinates, if they're lacking knowledge in certain areas. So I do have knowledge of skilled trades as well, like plumbing, drywall, painting, stripping floors, concrete, paving. So I've been around, exposed to a lot of different things. So, I feel that, with my skills and experience, I could, bring a lot to the table and help you guys continue to grow. So
yeah, cool. So as a site superintendent, what you, as far as like some fast food restaurants and some things of that, like you've done some of those, were you overseeing those total projects as the superintendent? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
What all, like day to day on the ground, action, how would you describe your, kind of your days, as far as planning, preparing for, your interactions, what would a day look like for you kind of out in the field over one of your sites? I know it varies from day to day, but just kind of in general.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, you get set up with your subcontractors that, who's working that particular week, and, you pull out the specs and you discuss what, needs to happen that particular week and how much time frame we have to get it done.
Yeah.
and just kind of, get an understanding with everyone, where we at, and, how much manpower we have, and, what would it take if we are short on labor, what would it take to get the job done on time? So,
Mhm.
I'm one of those people, I don't mind getting my hands dirty either. So I'll get in and help out as well,
Yeah.
with different things, to get the task done. So yeah, that's kind of like, for a day to day. That's for me, meeting first thing in the morning before we start working. Um, and we have a safety meeting. We had a safety meeting once a month as well. And I
Mhm.
was in charge of that too. So safety's
Yeah.
first, safety's big. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, cool. Do you have any uh questions for me, as you know, as I've shared, if you know, we talked a little bit, anything that pops up that you want to ask?
Um, so for as the travel, is it like, are you going like a couple months at a time, or is it weeks at a time? I mean, it's not a factor, but it just just trying to get the idea of how you guys work in the field.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, generally I think generally not months at a time. Generally, I think most guys try to get home every, 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes I know guys will stay on the
Okay.
job site 6 weeks. It really
Right.
depends on how far away the job site is from your home,
Right.
and kind of what's going on. I know a lot of times the week that the cabinets are installed, I think sometimes guys will take some time off, during that time of the phase. It just depends. Depends on the situation. Yeah. But I mean, we definitely, while it's, extensive travel, we definitely,
Right.
encourage, navigating that work-life balance. Being a
Right.
being a traveling superintendent is, it's definitely not for everybody. That's for sure.
Right.
It
Right.
does, it does, we find we got a lot of guys who you know little bit older and don't have the young kids, or their kids are like college age. Sometimes
Right.
we
Right. Right.
we get the guys who like, have uh, haven't quite started the family and settled down, or we get guys whose wives will travel with them, and so those tend to work pretty well.
Right.
Although we do have guys who've got younger kids who've been able to manage and to be able to have be really successful,
Right.
in those ways too. So yeah, those are all factors. But yeah, generally, I mean, I think the goal would be, every 2-3 weeks to be able
Okay.
to get home for a little bit of time. So yeah, so I'm trying to think here. Any other thoughts that I have? So currently, what are you doing currently?
Uh, right now, I am doing renovations work. It's a temporary position. Just doing something to stay busy.
Right.
Uh, so yeah.
Cool. Cool. Um, yeah, if you were looking, moving forward, if you were going to start a new position, how much, what time frame would you need as far as doing that?
Just a week's notice. That's it.
About a
One
week.
week's notice. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. It looks like you live in South Carolina. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Correct.
Cool. Yeah, we went on a cruise. Gosh, by 2011, we drove Charleston, and that was where our port
Right.
was. So we went out there.
Yeah.
Charleston's a neat city.
Yes.
So cool. Um, yeah, Terrence, I don't know that I have any other questions. I definitely appreciate you sharing. I think
Yes.
you got some good experience, and I definitely want to pass your name and your info, and share this Zoom call with some folks, director of construction
Okay.
and another gentleman, to be able to review and say, hey, let's see if this is somebody we want to continue the conversation with to the next step. And so um, I know we've got a project coming up that's not a SOLA, but a spa, kind of a high-end
Hmm.
spa that's a little bit of a different, it would be the first one that we've done. And so we're looking at that as a potential start too. So, but yeah, I'm just thinking out loud now. It's in the morning, so I'm still trying to process
Right,
waking up.
right.
Yeah. So cool. How would you describe yourself as far as your interactions with subcontractors, with, you know, what is your, I don't know, is it leadership style? It's kind of generic. Most of the time I ask questions and it's like people tell me whatever I want to hear. So anything that you can make yourself stand out and be unique would be awesome. So,
right.
yeah. Like, you know, there's issues that show up that arise. You know, you got somebody that's a knucklehead on site, won't, you know, just not that it always happens, but there's always, you know, somebody who
for sure.
Could be challenging. So I guess let me narrow the question down so it's not so vague. Can you share a specific time whenever there was a problem that arose regarding a job site, and how did you handle it?
Well, I kind of deal with that right now. I am a site superintendent for this company. You know, there's a lot of young guys. You know, they're inexperienced somewhat, and you know, this is kind of like their first real job, and you know, so they, as far as following the rules, like, you know, got a problem with constantly pulling out their cell phone, you know, constantly on the phone texting this and this. I'm like, we're at work. You know, I be firm but fair. You know, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but you know, if I have to ask you more than once, then you know, we'll take next steps. You know, I don't want to write anyone up or suspend anybody, but if I have to, I will.
Yeah.
I just mean we're all here to do a job, you know, and you know the expectations, and this is what has to be done. So, you know, for the most part, I am a people person, and people listens to me well. I usually don't have too many problems. It's just with the youth, sometimes, you know, it's a little different. So I'm more old school. So, you know, I like the older guys because they know what, you know, what needs to be done. You don't have to ask them twice, you know. So they just get in and get it done. So yeah, for the most part, man, I usually don't have any problems with anyone, and people usually rally around me and listen, and we work together as a team. So
yeah, cool. Looks like what construction, what because you've done a lot of I'm just looking at your resume, so that's why I'm staring over here to the side.
Right.
Like you're with lane construction for quite a while. What all was that? What all kind of work was that? Was that more civil engineering, roads?
Yes.
Was it
civil and highway construction?
Highway construction,
asphalt paving. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No. Gosh, we have like here locally, they're building I-69 up. It's one of those, one of the last interstates that they're bringing through, like down through Evansville up to Indy, and then on up to like Fort Wayne. And they've got up to Fort Wayne, they've got it done from Indy. But it's amazing what's involved in to build. I mean, there's a lot going on. Like it's the landscape is shifting, and they're building up the ramps. And when we go to church, we cross that, you know, every week, and it's interesting to see from week to week like what all they've got done. And of course, my boys like to see the dump trucks and the big excavators moving dirt or whatever, you know. So it's not a quick project. I mean, it takes years. And it's amazing that there's all those little pieces of the puzzle that work together.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
working in, you know, at night and daytime. So depending on, you know, what's going on. So, you know, I work either shift. So
yeah. So was it Metro Liners Builders? Is that where you did where you did most of your retail kind of commercial? Yeah. Okay, cool. Did you enjoy that When did you,
Yes, I did.
what was I guess the reason for the switch, so to speak, is
Uh,
going into, was that your first experience that you had with
yeah,
civil engineering going into lane construction?
yes.
Yeah,
So basically, this company, they kind of lost some contracts during that time, and a lot of us got laid off and didn't
yeah,
get called back to work. So
yeah,
I ended up, finding another job because I didn't want to wait too long, So
right, yeah,
yeah, unfortunately, that's how it went. But they're a really good company. They're still
yeah,
around actually, and yeah, they're top notch, man. So I learned a lot with those guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, cool, awesome. All right, well, I guess you got any other questions? We'll go ahead and hop off here, but it's good to meet you and chat with you for a bit this morning.
Yes, sir. Good to meet you also.
Yeah.
So for his next steps, what would that be?
Yeah, I will go ahead and get your information together, and we've got a board where I keep track of candidates and whatnot. And I'll be able to
Right.
post your video on there and some notes and your resume and whatnot for kind of give the next step, the nudge, like, hey guys, check Terrence out, see what you think, and then at that point they'll say whether they want to set up a call with you or they'll reach out to you. And then we just kind of go from there. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
awesome. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Nice meeting you.
All right, you as well. Thank you, sir. Have a good week. All right.
You too. Thanks. Bye.